Well, today I brought out the second saw. This is the Husqvarna 435. This is an X-Torque model. It's a bit older. It's a bit older than the other one, the 555 you saw. This saw is good. It's nice and light. I typically use it for limbing, but figured since the trees we're cutting aren't very big, we're just going to bring this one out and keep it moving. So anyways, let's see if we can get it going. The weather's quite a bit colder today. So this model here's got the pull out and up choke, primer bulb. 4, 5, and 6. I got fuel, bar oil in it, chain brakes off, so should be good to go. Always be aware. All right. I didn't cut this one all the way through. I wasn't sure which way it was leaning 100%, so I just helped it to make sure it's definitely going to lean to my left. I don't want to cut the hinge wood here, but I'll cut a little bit more of it. See how the tree's going? So. And here's the problem. So here's the problem with the red pine forest. I cut that tree just how you should. So I create my notch on the front on the face side of the log or of the tree. Then I made my back cut, did everything how you're supposed to. But see how the top of the tree, it's real hung up there. These red pine forests are notorious for it, especially when they haven't been thinned. So that's why when you look around you see so many leaners. So unfortunately there's not a lot else I can do here. I'm gonna go through and I'll just clean it right off the what do you call it, off the stump there. But try not to get your bar stuck in this case, but I'll clean it off the bar and move on to the next. Just got to be aware when I'm moving around where the leaners are, especially if you get a little wind kicked up. You don't want a tree to fall down when you least expect it. Although these are small, these would still kill me, I'm sure, if they hit me the right way. So anyways, let's try her again. Come on. Not gonna fall out of there for me. Snow looks nice. Come on, get out of there. No, we'll leave that for now. Unfortunately, the one I want to cut's right under it, so I guess I'll wait. This one right here is undersized. We'll take it out. So, just looking where I can fall it, I look up into the canopy there, see if there's any opening. Usually there's not in these forests, so you just look at which way the tree's leaning. I'm gonna get to lean to the left here, or go to the left, so same thing. Help it along a little, and that's unfortunately where it ends up. So this one's leaned up pretty good. Maybe you see that way up in the canopy, leaned up real good. So bit of a nightmare here. I haven't quite figured out a solution, but as long as I stay out of that area for now, hopefully I'll get the winch hooked up to it at some point and pull it down. So this one here, you'll also notice it's a leaner, so just be aware of that. I think at this point we got too many leaners going on here, and I'd hate for something to happen. So this would be the point where I would say let's get a few more trees on the ground, and then I'll keep cutting. But if you have a look out, you'll see how the density in front of me, the number of trees, is starting to go down. That's what we're looking for. So the more trees that go down here, the more likely it is the remaining trees will do well. And then you know, 10 years down the road or whatever it takes, the diameter of these will be a lot bigger. They'll be a lot more useful, as opposed to trees like this, right? What I'm going to actually end up doing with this is I think I'm going to actually end up cutting them into about 8-foot lengths, and I might just cut them in half on the mill and make some, you know, rugged looking siding or something for any outbuildings I need them for. But other than that, I'll probably just cut the rest of them up into 16-inch lengths, and I'll burn them. As long as you dry it good enough, you can burn it. So you can see this one here, a bit of a nightmare. So anyways, that's really about it. You saw how I use a chainsaw to cut trees. I make the face cut, take the notch out, cut the back cut, and just always aware. That's the big thing. You're gonna hear if you go out with anyone who's cut trees before, you got to always have an awareness around you. You got to know where you can go to in the event something goes wrong. They always say to have 2 points of exit. So imagine I was cutting this tree here. The best thing would be if I'm going to have the tree fall this way or even in front of me, I have 2 points of exit, and they're always away from the direction of falling, right? I don't want to run where the tree's going to fall. So I would have an exit path behind me, one to my right, one to my left. And yeah, that way after the tree starts to fall, I can start moving back into that area. So anyways, let's get this cleaned up so we make it a bit safer in here and move on to the next task.